Well, last night we closed up Wild Card Weekend, and Sam Darnold cost himself a lot of money. He earned himself a lot of money this year, but cost himself a lot of money with that performance. 9 sacks, and just struggled in that game that sent the Vikings packing from the postseason. And the reason why I bring this up is because there were many who were kind of side-eyeing Sam Darnold as a potential replacement for Kyler Murray. A lot of people thought, you know what? Sam Darnold having a good year. I haven't seen Kyler Murray have a year like that. I haven't seen Kyler Murray win 14 games. I haven't seen Kyler Murray put together a potential 1-seed division-winning campaign. I haven't seen that. And so I understand. You look around the league, you're like, hey, maybe Sam Darnold would be the right fit here. I think the last 2 weeks has quieted that down, and I'll be very fascinated to follow the pursuits of Sam Darnold this offseason to see how much he gets, where he ends up, what role he gets put in, because he made $10 million last year to be the backup and then was thrusted into the starter role when J.J. McCarthy tore his ACL. He's certainly going to get a raise on the $10 million. How much of a raise is he going to get? Where is he going to sit in the quarterback salary pecking order? One of the top storylines to keep in mind, big picture in the NFL this coming offseason. But the Arizona Cardinals, while maybe not shopping in the starting quarterback market, I think need to be in the backup quarterback market. They need an upgrade in that spot. Can't be Clayton Tune. They need an upgrade at that position. They need to increase their floor at backup quarterback. And so, with that being, I don't want to call it a priority, but it's pretty close. It's something to consider. It's something to have probably middle of the shopping list this offseason, because we've seen it. Sometimes you need your backup quarterback to bail you out of a game. You need your backup quarterback to hold things down for a couple of games. Maybe there's a 2-game stretch or a 3-game stretch where you need your backup quarterback to keep things afloat. And so you need somebody that you trust. You need somebody that can run the offense. You need somebody that you can throw in there. And while maybe they're not going to bring you the high-end capability of Kyler Murray, they're going to bring you a decent enough floor to where you can still win football games. So that's the way the Cardinals need to look at this offseason. But how do you fill that role? Do you fill it with a high-end backup? Or is it somebody that you want to push Kyler Murray? Do you want a true competition? Do you want somebody that can come in and at least force Kyler Murray to elevate his game a little bit? Here are the quarterbacks that are going to be available this offseason. I will tell you the quarterback and the percentage of snaps that they played. Sam Darnold, as we mentioned, who played 99.4% of snaps, was the starter all year. So there you go, starting quarterback. Russell Wilson, 63.7% of snaps, but we all know the starting quarterback all year. The only reason why he wasn't there at the beginning, he was coming back from an injury. Daniel Jones was the starter in New York for a really long time, and then they cut bait with him late in the season. Cooper Rush took over for Dak Prescott, was the starter. Mac Jones was the backup for Trevor Lawrence, took over in the second half of the season when Lawrence went down with a season-ending injury. Mason Rudolph, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Justin Fields, Jacoby Brissett, Andy Dalton, Drew Lock, Tyler Huntley. Those are the guys that played significant time this season. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo intrigues you. Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke, Josh Johnson, Kyle Trask, who knows? What are you looking for in your backup quarterback? Are you just looking for a high-end backup? Are you looking for somebody that you believe gives you a decent floor? Jacoby Brissett? Mac Jones? Cooper Rush? Those are guys that probably fit that mold of a decent floor. Cooper Rush has been a backup before. He's come in these roles. He's done well. Jacoby Brissett's been a backup a bunch of different places, has started, has been able to manage an offense, would be able to do that for you for a couple of games. Is that the path you want to go down? Or do you want somebody that potentially pushes Kyler Murray, that competes with Kyler Murray? Because I have a name on this list. who I don't know what his market is going to be. There might be teams that look at him as a starter and pay him starter money. It's possible. And I'm not talking top-end starter money, but he might get a Sam Darnold deal. Sam Darnold got 1 year, $10 million to be the backup for J.J. McCarthy, or at least be in a competition, and then you have a $10 million backup while you're paying a quarterback on a rookie deal. It's a pretty nice place to be. I'll give you a name. What does Justin Fields do? Justin Fields might be the best of both worlds here. He might be a high-end backup that, by the way, can run your offense basically the same because he provides you that same running ability that Kyler provides to you. But also he's somebody that is young, still wants to be a starter, and is going to come to camp after being the starter in Pittsburgh. And let's face it, while the numbers maybe weren't great, he won football games. He ran that offense. So maybe he pushes Kyler a little bit. What are you trying to accomplish? What is your end goal with your backup quarterback? Is it somebody that can help you win football games in a pinch and also push Kyler Murray? Or are you just looking for somebody? It's not going to cost a lot. It's not a huge drop-off. You have a nice floor. And if you need him for a game or two, he would be able to win you a football game, or at least allow you to be competitive. What are you trying to do? Because if you are trying to make this just Kyler Murray's show, then you can sign somebody like a Desmond Ridder, like a Marcus Mariota. You can sign somebody like a Drew Lock or a Jacoby Brissett and just make them your backup. And they're not going to threaten the starter. They're just going to be there. They're going to be there in case of an injury, and they're going to be there when you need them if you need to get out of a jam. But if you want to put some pressure on Kyler Murray, does Justin Fields do that? Does bringing back Josh Dobbs do that? Are there other names out there? What are you trying to do? You bring in somebody who's established. You bring in somebody who's been a starter before. Then that's going to at least create some level of controversy. It's going to at least send the message that Kyler's play needs to improve. And we all know it's easier for them to get out of the contract at the end of next year than it is for them this year. It's not happening. He's going to be the starter going into 2025, excuse me. But that doesn't mean you can't put pressure on him. That doesn't mean you can't push him to try to be the best version of himself. Either way, this team needs an upgrade at the backup quarterback spot. This team needs to increase their floor. I firmly believe the best thing you can do for your team is have your backup quarterback have a similar skill set or at least a similar play style to your starter so that your offense doesn't have to completely change. So you have a quarterback, Kyler Murray, runs an offense, but also has a running element to his game. So that is a piece to the puzzle that Drew Petzing puts together for this Cardinals offense. Wouldn't you like to have a backup quarterback who also has a similar skill set? Maybe not to the level Kyler does, but maybe you want somebody who also has that mobility. Justin Fields, Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, Trey Lance, Josh Dobbs, guys who can get out on the run and use their legs to extend plays. I'm not sure Mac Jones is the right backup for Kyler Murray. Daniel Jones, I'm not sure is the right backup for Kyler Murray. But I'll tell you what, Daniel Jones, starter in this league, has won a playoff game. Maybe in the right system he could work. And so do you bring him in because you want to put pressure on Kyler Murray? As somebody who started a year ago? Not to say that Daniel Jones would beat him out in camp, but at least there's that thought that is in the back of his mind to where he has to go out there and prove it. Is that what you are trying to accomplish? Is that what the end goal is supposed to be? The Cardinals, while they're focusing on edge rushers, while they're adding T. Higgins in free agency, I'm just going to keep saying it until it happens, while they're adding a corner, while they address the kicker problem, while they have all of that, while those are the issues at the top of the list, this is also something they need to address. this is something that needs to be a priority. And determining what they want that priority to be and how they want to go about doing it is going to be crucial to seeing who fits this role. But there are backup quarterbacks out there that are a lot better than what you were getting out of Clayton too. I mean, the Cardinals will very easily be able to upgrade their quarterback position. They will be able to have a more veteran with experience, somebody who's been there, who started games, who's been in that role before. They will be able to have a better backup quarterback going into 2025. But what type of backup quarterback do they want to have? That is going to be the question. And we'll know. The moment that quarterback signs and we see maybe the dollar amount or we see what it looks like, the contract, we'll be able to tell what they're trying to do. I think if they sign Justin Fields, it's going to be he's got a very similar skill set to Kyler Murray, but also if things go south, we've got somebody that I've got no problem turning to. We've got somebody I've got no problem giving the ball to save this season if things go south. Whereas if you sign a Brandon Allen or a Jared Stidham or a Taylor Heineke, I'm not so sure if that's going to be the way that I feel.